Cool. We're bringing on Ebru, who is the Director of Marketing and Sales at Soorty Enterprises. So I know she's here. Let's just get her video
Yes,
going.
I'm here.
Yay, there you go. Nice background. Was that Denim Days?
Yes, that was
I
Denim days.
remember. I
Yes,
remember that.
good
I
old
actually,
days.
I made one of those bags, I remember. One of
That
the
was,
last events.
it was a fun event. Yes.
Definitely a fun event. So today we're here to talk about progressive innovation and what that means for the denim industry and the denim supply chain. So we were talking a couple weeks ago, and one of the things that really, or actually just startled me a bit, because I always love talking about sustainability and just circularity with you, but what you said was that innovation gets wasted. And obviously there was more to the discussion about that, but I was shocked. I was like, what do you mean? Like, we're working so hard on improving things and just chasing these new concepts, but what we forget is to build on the innovations that we already have. So I just wanted to start off with an analogy that I saw one time. I don't remember where, but it was a visual representation. So I might not do the best job at explaining this, but it was a jar of rocks that looked full. But there was a jar of pebbles beside it too, and a jar of sand. So take the jar of pebbles and you pour it in that jar of rocks, and you actually realize that if the jar is not actually full, it's actually quite empty. And on top of that, you take the jar of sand and you pour it in. Again, you notice that it's not completely full. There's still many holes to fill. And after the sand has been poured in, then you can call it a full jar. And I thought that really just sets the stage of just showing how you can build on progress if you set the table right or have the right building blocks in place. So I just wanted to hear more about your idea of what progressive innovation means to you, and also to Soorty.
Yeah. First of all, thank you, Annie. I really like the analogy, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you. First of all, I would like to say that we're very lucky to be working with the most innovative part of the fashion industry. And, how wonderful it is to be competing with innovation. But then on the other side of that coin, we also waste the innovation that we bring on. So where innovation is concerned, most of the time, we take an evolving idea and adapt it to develop a product. But if we can actually take our time to design a new system, then it transforms into a progressive innovation. And indeed, we do consume innovation too fast. To me, innovation is using technology and design interaction to expose or to put to use what already exists as a form of information. And then progress comes in layers. So I'd like to relate to what we've done with Cradle to Cradle, right. As it's been a great case for progressive innovation for us at Soorty. Working with Cradle to Cradle has been kind of like a journey, and it's been a mind shift rather than just producing products. So if you look at the system itself, it defines technical, biological processes and ingredients step by step. So when we first started to work on the fabric developments back 3 years ago, the market had little understanding of the cradle to cradle, and the conversation with the industry stakeholders was not that easy. So we developed unique product design, and of course, behind that, a whole manufacturing process. Where and how we developed our products also mattered. And then we also had a message to deliver to the brands and to the consumers. Not an easy task. So this is what is great about actually the cradle to cradle, as it's a holistic approach that defines the production premises and the safety and the well-being of the people who produce the products. So it's in combination. Right. So in order to make the technology more accessible, we teamed up with the digital design house, the Fabricant from Amsterdam, who were coming up in the whole realm of digital fashion. And that digital denim garment needed actually 5 months to develop back at that time. And looking at how everything progressed, I think this collaboration has proved itself to be sustainable as well. So over the gold certified cradle to cradle fabrics are Pure D came in our Cradle to Cradle Gold certified garment developments, which we called Smart Blue. And then last week, we actually had the honor to have our sewing thread operation, a Smart Knot, as gold level Cradle to Cradle certified. So I think you kind of follow the mind shift here, right?
Yeah, luckily I had in 2019, I had the chance to work with the C2C fabrics, and then obviously we've progressed the conversation now garments. So I've seen that progression happen, which has been amazing. And also I know you had some maybe involvement with the NGO side of things too here.
Yes. So this is recent as well. So we became a part of the Cradle to Cradle NGO, which is again a part of the community building of that innovation, so harnessing that innovation. And again, last week, our actually digital garment, the overall, the co-founder of DressX, the amazing digital fashion shop, preferred to wear that, overall. And this was like, wow, I mean, again, building blocks, how we progress, how we really like implement the innovation further, I think matters a lot. And I believe that actually Cradle to Cradle could be a tool for stakeholder economy. So it's kind of like all these building units that kind of you have to bring together, design a system, design a manufacturing system, and then involve the whole community, the stakeholders, the consumers with that dialogue. So I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant.
Totally. And the topic of digital fashion I would love to dive into it, but in the sake of time, I know you've also been working on building on your smart laundry system with a new concept called Smart Blue. So could you briefly explain what Smart Blue is?
Yes, that is actually, again, a very new innovation, and it's a representation of an idea where you take technology and adapt it best to your environment and needs. So it's a patent pending combination of chemicals and equipment to apply the wash treatments using a special medium. So Smart Blue is developed in collaboration with Garmon, and only Garmon's machinery and chemicals produce this certain medium. And of course, we needed our own engineering expertise of our teams to adapt this technology to our laundry. So we can use actually internally Smart Blue on all the various machines in our laundry. And this is kind of like innovation cannot become meaningful unless it's developed and used in the right environment and with expertise, I would say. So what the technology enables is that we can now achieve almost all range of conventional washes with much less water, less chemicals, at room temperature, so less energy. And the process can be also applied to garment dyeing and is compatible with most of the dye stuff range. So the chemical loading of the machines is 3 times less, and it's easier, it's faster, and very precise. And the chemicals used are minimal as well as being environmentally friendly. And, I would like you to imagine here stone washing without stones. So bleach without bleach. It's amazing how innovation can really comply and become, our tool. So you build a smart factory with smart technology and the smart application of that technology. So this is amazing. We actually we were going to surprise you and send you like the conventional and the Smart Blue washed garments for you to really
we'll show that in another time. We have about 2 minutes left, and I really want to get to the last part. But I think part of what our discussion previously was that a lot of times innovations like Smart Blue are so complicated to communicate, and sometimes that's a reason innovation gets lost too, is because people or the customer doesn't understand the value that they're bringing. So how do you really plan on communicating Smart Blue to your customers and really breaking it down?
So it's like people to people approach. And if we've been talking about business to business, business to consumers, but now it has to come people to people. So we internally decide how we would really kind of harness this innovation, the communication of this innovation. And we've teamed up with the Green Story. So the dashboard of the green story, we find, LCA is a must. Life cycle analysis in our business is going to become kind of like a benchmark moving forward. But life cycle analysis, again, might stay too much of a business to business approach. And the dashboard of green story is going to enable us to really build that dialogue with the actual consumers and make them understand, wow, okay, there's an impact here. So,
Right.
this is how innovation thrives. This is
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think one thing you said too is with this, you're teaching a mindset almost. It's like you're actually helping move that mind shift for the
Yes.
consumer as well, which I think is really important.
Yes.
So yeah, I think we will show a comparison. I think stay tuned on our social medias, Soorty and mine, that we
That's a
show
promise.
this. Yes, that's a promise. But Ebru, thank you so much for your time, and I will definitely talk to you soon. And if anyone has any more questions about Smart Blue, get in touch with Ebru.
Always
But yeah,
good to talk to you, Annie.
always good to talk to you, and we'll talk soon. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.